In October of 2021, Geoffrey Paschel was convicted following the brutal kidnapping and beating of his former fiancée. 4 months later, Geoffrey was sentenced to 18 years in prison. While most 90 Day Fiancé fans are celebrating this monster's incarceration, he is already making plans to subvert justice. His attorneys have filed a motion seeking a retrial, and it's likely just the beginning. Ugh. It is sadly no surprise to hear that a convicted abuser has no sense of well-earned shame. Geoffrey has never offered his victims a confession, refusing to allocate to his crimes in court even at sentencing. He even went so far as to try to arrange for his children to harass the victim into asking the court to reduce his sentence. With all of that in mind, it naturally follows that Geoffrey is hoping to force the justice system to stand on its head to see him go free. The convicted scumbag has filed a motion seeking a retrial. Geoffrey was convicted by a jury of his peers. He is hoping that the court will grant him a brand new trial full of brand new peers. Geoffrey has a hearing scheduled for April 14, 2022. On that date, the judge will evaluate his attorney's argument for a new trial and rule on the motion. It is not immediately clear what arguments Geoffrey's team will present. The thing about appeals following a conviction is that it's very much a game of you miss every shot you don't take. Until Geoffrey runs out of money to pay his attorneys, they'll continue to appeal on anything and everything that springs to mind. Throw enough things at the wall, and sometimes something will stick or, in this case, gum up the works and allow a monster to escape justice. Geoffrey's attorney had already vowed to keep fighting on his client's behalf. Geoffrey Paschel continues to maintain his innocence and intends to file a motion for a new trial in the very near future, his attorney ominously shared. Afterward, our firm intends to pursue an appeal on Geoffrey Paschel's behalf, the statement added. Like we said, this is all pretty standard. If Geoffrey had taken a plea deal, at this point, we're glad that he didn't, or admitted his guilt at sentencing, things might be different. But he's not a good person, which means that he will neither accept that he deserves to be in prison or give his victim peace of mind. In June of 2019, Geoffrey was engaged to Kristen Wilson, a 4th-grade teacher. In her own home, he savagely beat her face and body, leaving her blood smeared on various parts of the house where he slammed her head. Geoffrey damaged her phone to prevent her from calling for help and refused to let her leave. Kristen mustered the courage to escape, fleeing to a neighbor's house for sanctuary and to call for help. Police arrived and Kristen received medical care, with her horrific injuries documented photos that were later shown in court. It takes tremendous bravery to testify against someone like Geoffrey, but Kristen pressing charges and seeing this through led to a conviction. Kristen was not the first woman with a horror story about Geoffrey. From what 90 Day Fiancé fans can tell, every woman he's been with but hasn't appeared on reality TV with him has described the same monster. One of Geoffrey's ex-wives testified at Geoffrey's sentencing, describing inescapable abuse from a man who would track her wherever she went.